Who are you?
Frank Drebin, Police Squad. The new version.
Wow. Well, I'm honored to get to kick off your press day because you made a very special movie that I think is a perfect blend of this franchise that we're all beloved of from the 90s, as well as your own unique comedic touch. I felt a lot of digital short inspired comedic timing, a lot of Lonely Island inspired comedic timing. Did you feel that yourself when you were putting this thing together?
I mean, I can't help it because I am who I am, and I edited all the digital shorts myself or with Yorma. So if you felt some of that, it probably just seeped in, but I didn't fight it, I'm trying to honor the old one, but bring a little of the new. So
yeah, and I'd love to ask too, kind of along those lines, those digital shorts and the work you did with the Lonely Island and the work you did bringing some of that Lonely Island environment to the big screen with one of my favorite movies ever, Popstar, Never Stop, Never Stopping. It works with the Gen Z audience, and Naked Gun humor is so tailored to an older generation. How do you feel like your particular stamp on this franchise will help reach a younger crowd?
I mean, I feel like it's kind of an evergreen type of comedy that every generation, there's a certain amount of people in every generation that probably would love it, but you're not wrong that maybe this generation has grown up without it being a big part of it because it hasn't been in theaters for so long now. Whereas when I was a kid, it was Naked Gun and Austin Powers and then Scary Movie. And so it was really part of the culture that has gone away. But I don't know that it should be a generational divide. It probably is. There just might be, but I do think there will be a lot of 12-year-olds that have maybe never seen something like this and will need a little bit of an education into what the tone is.
Very much so, but also too, it's nice to get it kind of reintroduced. Like you said, I think it is a timeless form of comedy, but for whatever reason, it's been a minute since we've had something like this on the big screen. You work with a lot of amazing comedians. My favorite going right now is Tim Robinson. The work you've done with I Think You Should Leave is, I think, some of the best comedy we've seen in recent years, like across the board, film, TV, entertainment as a whole. He feels like someone that would be perfect for this franchise.
Obviously, I'm a big Tim Robinson fan, and what him and Zach Cannon do on with that show is incredible. And I work on the show, but I'm also it exists because they're so awesome, and I was a fan of what they did. So thank you for liking the show. Tim is perfect for it, but he also isn't, because part of what makes Naked Gun and what made Airplane is the fact that it's all dramatic actors. No comedians are in it. So he actually is not the right guy for it, even though he is so funny. Just because otherwise it just becomes a cop comedy. Like some really fantastic cop comedies are like The Other Guys and The Nice Guys, with Gosling and Russell Crowe. I love those movies. But what makes Naked Gun is not having, anybody who is funny in it. So it can be a shock when they're being silly.
Yeah, absolutely. They're giving me the rap cue, but I do want to ask this one quick question. I alluded to Popstar earlier. That film is the definition of a cult classic. Every year, new people find it, and my friends hit me up, and I still listen to Mona Lisa and Equal Rights just for fun when I'm going on talks. Is there room to do a sequel? Are we gonna see Connor for real again?
We're open to it. I don't know. There's never been any talk of it, but I appreciate your enthusiasm, and I love that movie, so I'm very happy you do.
I think in the age of streaming, there's a world where it can work and it can reach the audience it deserved to reach when it was released.
Agreed. It just came on Netflix. I don't even know if it still is, but like a month or two ago, it came on Netflix for the very first time. And I was like, oh, finally, maybe people will, find it. But you're not wrong. A lot of people have found it over the last, how many years has it been? 8 years? Over the last 8 years.
Yeah, I mean, look what Netflix did for Suits. So I think—
There you go. It could be the new Suits. Well, you get it going. Get that started.
Hey, Liam. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Did I hear you were like another Liam out there?
I said another Liam. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm honored to share a name with your leading man, because that's actually my first question. Liam Neeson is known for being such an action star. Sure, he's done some comedic scenes in the past, but never has he bore the weight of a comedy like this. What gave you the confidence that Liam Neeson was the right man for this job?
It was actually my partner, Seth MacFarlane, and Liam, who came up with this when they were working on Ted 2, which we have decided it was like 10 to 12 years ago. We were debating how many years ago it was, but that's what we're sticking with, and so that's where it was. So, but it was I think from Seth's point of view, and I think he clearly was right about this, the idea of trying to find a movie star in today's world that had all the elements, the gravitas, the sort of classic dramatic background, all the police, taken sort of vigilante movies that he had done, sort of made him a perfect choice to do a new version of the most revered movie that we love it so much that we really needed to figure out how to do it in our own way, in a different way, in a new way, but that also sort of paid homage to the original. And so I think Liam embodies that.
Yeah, I think it very much honors the spirit of those that original trilogy. And I kind of want to follow up on that too, because this film is already tracking really well with older audiences. A lot of my friends who are in their 30s and 40s are like, "You've already seen Naked Gun? Oh my God, it's my most anticipated movie of the year." And then I also have some younger friends who are like, "I've heard of these movies. I'm going to toe dip into it." What gives you the confidence that a film with the comedy chops, comedy style of a Naked Gun can work here in 2025 with the Gen Z audience?
I think it's our biggest fear, or was our biggest fear going into this. We haven't seen this kind of movie in at least a decade. And I think that, there is a clear sort of social media vibe that I think can pay off with a movie like this, because the jokes are so dense and the cleverness of all of the jokes don't necessarily work on everybody, but you have
quick.
Exactly.
That's what my generation loves.
You have a lot to choose from. But no, I think it's funny that you say the older people, 30s and 40s, and the younger people, 18. But we are hoping to get, the younger sort of generation, the high school kids, the college kids, whose, older siblings or parents may say, "Dude, this is like a cool movie. You should see it," And I think that it was the same thing when the original came out. Nobody had seen movies like that before. I mean, I think Airplane was the first that I remember, and then, followed up by The Naked Guns. And it was such a clever way of, making a comedy by parodying everything that we knew from that period of time that came before it. So we're hoping that people get the inside jokes, but just laugh, at the funniness of it.
Is she serious?
Is he serious?
No.